Hey YouTube, it's Renee. I just did my birth story video and now I'm going to tell you about a very brief version of my birth story video, but that's okay. Now this is the hospital stay. I was in the hospital until, she was born on a Sunday, I was in the hospital until Thursday because they had to get me stabilized, and pregnancies in the future, I can tell you that I will be on high blood pressure medicine like I currently am. But anyway, I was able to go home on Thursday. They gave me, I was on Percocet, which gave me bad headaches, and so I only took that when I needed to. Chocolate. I left on the 4th of June without my baby. That has to be the most horrible thing in the entire world. Not to mention we live 45 minutes away, and it was June. We drive an SUV. I was given a certain amount of Percocet when I was discharged. They couldn't give me Percocet anymore, but I wanted to stay with her until I absolutely had to leave. And when we left, the Percocet was running out, and I had a prescription, but everything was, by the time we were to get it back to where we live, everything would be closed. So I had to live without pain medication. 4 days after surgery, they took out my staples before I left. So riding home on 285 in a truck without pain medication, leaving my baby in the hospital after she was born 8 weeks premature and she was only 4 days old, really sucked. A lot. Rode home, it was about, there was a lot of traffic, so it was stop and go. We were on bumpy roads, 285 to 75 to 575. It was horrible. Got home, I really had to pee. Our neighbors wanted to talk to us. There's nothing wrong with that because they were worried about us and everything. So we were staying out there for a little while, but I really had to pee. So I'm walking hunched over like this because it hurt to straighten up my back. And I'm walking up the stairs, and I mean, I was having to cross my legs not to go on myself. When I finally got up the stairs and got into the bathroom and got to go, and I felt a lot better, but I was still in a lot of pain. Just plain miserable. I mean, just normal walking around was okay, but I had to walk hunched over. And we have some friends that left sticky notes all around our house when they came to do some stuff for us. Like, we had friends that came mow our lawn. Okay, because Adam was going to be doing that probably when we came home the day I was admitted to the hospital, and it was like almost a week later, so somebody came to mow our grass, and I was like, that's so sweet. We have a lot of grass, front and back of our house, so I mean, it was a task, So they were in here, and they got a hold of my sticky notes and just stuck them all over the house, right? It was hilarious because they were making, dirty jokes or funny jokes or whatever. And just sticking them on different pictures and different books and things we had around the house. And so it was making me laugh, and I really needed that at the moment to laugh. But it hurt to laugh at the same time. Like, I was holding my stomach and I was having to laugh so weird to get it out. But the fact that I was laughing funny made me laugh even more. So it was hilarious, and I really appreciated them putting those sticky notes around the house because it really made me feel better, but not at the same time. But it was worth it. But they're like that, so I guess it didn't really surprise me. They were Adam's friends too, by the way. They did that. But I had some of my friends came and helped me clean up the house a little bit and got a few things in order. They went out and got my car seat and stroller for me because they didn't know. I got a card from them in the recovery room saying, don't worry about anything. We got the car seat and stroller. It made me cry, and I was just a wreck. Because I didn't know how long she would have to be in the hospital. I mean, I had people talking to me, neonatologists were talking to me before she was born, and they said that she'd be okay and everything, but I didn't know how long she'd have to be in the hospital. I was always, while I was there, well, that same day, that Thursday, I was so tired. I don't think I had ever been so tired. You know, a couple days following her birth, up until then, everybody had been so strong and kind of running on adrenaline and like, okay, things are happening. It's an emergency. How do we handle this? Let's make some good decisions. Let's do this, do that, do that. Once it was done, it's like, whew, holy crap, we just went through something serious, you know, and something life-altering, and this really did happen. And so emotions were just all over the place. Talk like guilt, sadness, happiness, but a lot of guilt on my part for letting this happen. Although I know I had nothing to do with it. I couldn't have helped it, but you still feel guilt. And I still do. So it's something that I struggle with constantly. But we finally, I was just emotionally, physically drained. I was so sore. I climbed into bed and I get a text message. I'm like, what is it? Because I have BlackBerry, so I was rolling down, scrolling through. And my best friend was telling me she was pregnant. I was like, I can't even call her to be excited. So I was texting back, because you can put exclamation points and smiley faces in a text message and look really, really happy even though you're laying there dead. So, you know, I was telling her I was happy for her and everything. By the way, this weekend I'm having the shower for her, so I'm excited about it. But anyway, she's having a boy, by the way. And so that night, you know, we just slept and slept and slept, and I didn't have my baby. And the next day, I turned around and went back to the hospital. Day after that, actually I took one day off. That Saturday. But then every single day after that for a month, I woke up early, was pumping. At night I was pumping. During the day I was pumping there. I had to bring some crap back and forth from the hospital. I had to bring bottles back and forth from the hospital to fill up with milk. I had to bring her things. I had to leave every day without her. I had to find a ride to the hospital because Adam was still not taking his FMLA leave because he wanted to wait till she was coming home so he could be home longer. So I was going by myself sometimes. I was having to find rides because when I was on the Percocet I wasn't allowed to drive, but that made me sick, so I just dealt with it after like a few days. I was like, forget it, you know. Or for about a week, I was like, I just don't want to be on Percocet because I want to be able to drive myself and not put anyone out, and I want to be able to not have a headache, and I want to be able to feel normal again. And, you know, a bunch of ibuprofen helped with the pain because really, you're not in that much pain for that long, but there is a recovery time, you know? And about a week is really what it took for me to be able to sleep okay again. Turning over is what was hard. And I don't think I mentioned this in the other video, but I immediately lost 30 pounds after I had her. That was that much fluid on me. I'm still struggling to lose the other weight because it's just when you have a C-section, I'm still numb below my belly button to my, where the incision is. So it's really sucks losing that weight. But I mean, I can tell it does come down and stuff. I mean, I'm so busy, I'm not doing a whole lot to try to help with that. Like, obviously I've got chocolate right here. But, so that's my own fault. But it is a lot harder when you have a C-section to get back down to what you were originally. And just because you're not seeing any results, you're not seeing any, so it's kind of, not results, but you're not seeing any progress, you know, as fast as you would if you deliver naturally. So it's kind of discouraging. And that whole month I did not care what I looked like or felt like or, you know, any of that. So anyway, for a month, in June, in Atlanta, driving back and forth in an SUV,